right, what's up? I'm Christiane Cordero, and this is the 734 from WCCO. We know most of you are heading out the door, maybe about to get to work, so let's get you started strong with today's weather. Still cloudy outside. 27 degrees is what we're topping out later this afternoon by your evening commute. There's a little bit of a chance of drizzles and flat flowers, maybe, probably not. Flurries today. So don't be surprised if you see that falling, and then a little bit of a chance later tonight as well. 26 degrees is what we're looking at 8 p.m. Speaking of the weather, our favorite topic here in Minnesota, here's what I was doing 1 year ago today. The lowest temperature that I got to overnight was minus 55 degrees. Yeah, remember that? 1 year ago today, the polar vortex sent historic cold to Minnesota. The wind chill was around 60 below. The state basically shut down. Schools were closed for almost a week. Fast forward to this year, it has been the gloomiest January on record. 18 of the 29 days this month so far have been considered cloudy. 11 of them were full-on overcast. So let's play Would You Rather, shall we? Clouds and mild temperatures or sun and cold. Jason DeRusha posted a poll to this on Twitter yesterday. I'm not going to tell you who's winning. I guess you can check it if you want, but I want you to answer honestly. Clouds, mild, sun, cold. What do you think? Those watching on Facebook, leave a comment right here. We'll read through a few of those in just a moment. The World Health Organization meets today to assess whether the coronavirus outbreak should be declared a global emergency. At least 170 people have died, and there are nearly 8,000 cases around the world. Right now, 195 Americans are being monitored at a California military base. They were evacuated from Wuhan, China, the epicenter of the deadly outbreak. They'll go 3 days of voluntary testing, including temperature checks, nasal swabs, and blood tests. Airlines from around the world are either suspending or drastically cutting flights to China, including major U.S. carriers like American, Delta, and United, as the Trump administration weighs on a temporary ban on all the flights there. There are still many Americans in China trying to figure out how to get back home. A North Minneapolis man is one of them. Yulin Yin traveled to Wuhan last week to visit his parents during the Chinese New Year. Last weekend, his family realized the trip needed to be cut short.
We had heard reports that there was a mandatory evacuation, but there were no instructions of how to do that. And so we basically were frantically trying to figure out, how do we get you out of the country?
Yin's wife, Ann, says Minnesota lawmakers have been in contact with her, working their sources to see what can be done to get Yulin home. Meanwhile, doctors here say the virus we should be most worried about right now is the flu. Twin Cities hospitals say they're packed with kids fighting the flu and other viruses. So far this season, at least 1 child and 31 adults have died from influenza in Minnesota. So get that flu shot and keep washing your hands. At the state capitol today, lawmakers are talking about insulin affordability. Governor Tim Walz and other Democratic lawmakers are holding a press conference on the issue. For months, both DFL and Republican lawmakers have been working towards a solution. California has had one heck of a week. Continuing with this video, check it out. A man hanging onto the side of a building to escape a fire. The firefighter on the ladder eventually gets close enough to help him down. He's standing on the 6th story of that building. We know 8 people are hurt. Investigators say the fire is suspicious, so that investigation, of course, continues. President Donald Trump is holding a campaign rally in Des Moines, Iowa tonight, just 4 days before the first caucus of the 2020 presidential election. In Washington, senators are set to resume questioning the president's defense team and House managers today in the impeachment trial. Whether to allow witnesses to testify remains a key issue hanging over that case. Kobe Bryant's widow just released her first public statement, saying her family needs the prayers that they've received. On an emotional Instagram post, Vanessa Bryant wrote a tribute, saying in part, quote, "I take comfort in knowing that Kobe and Gigi both knew that they were so deeply loved. We're so incredibly blessed to have them in our lives." The NBA star, his 13-year-old daughter, and 7 of their friends died Sunday when their helicopter crashed just outside of Los Angeles. The NTSB says it could take at least a year to definitively know what caused that crash. Some drivers who are pulled over for a broken light in Hennepin County won't be issued a ticket. Instead, you might get a voucher to get it fixed. The local nonprofit focused on low-income people called Microgrants is picking up the bill. Police say the voucher increases the chance of drivers actually getting that light fixed. Someone in Florida is waking up nearly $400 million richer this morning. No big deal. That's where one single winning Powerball ticket was sold in last night's drawing. We don't know where yet, but the ticket is worth $394 million. Some much needed news, good news about life expectancy. For the first time in 4 years, it has gone up in the U.S. The increase is small, just a month. The rise is mostly due to lower death rates for cancer and drug overdoses. As a result, life expectancy increased to 78 years and 8 months, at least headed in the right direction. Let's get back to today's talker. We're talking about Minnesota's favorite topic, weather, and we're bringing in WCCO's digital guy, Cole. Cole, what are people saying?
Yeah, we have Annette saying clouds and mild. We have Mary saying, I love clouds, keep us warm. We have Kimberly saying sun and cold.
Do you think most people are saying clouds and mild, or most people are saying sun and cold? Or is it hard to tell?
I'm pretty sure it's the clouds and mild.
Clouds and mild. We're enjoying the mild temperatures. Okay.
Yep. And then we have Stephanie saying, as much as I love seeing the sun, I hate the cold, so I'd much rather have this cloudy and mild weather.
Okay. I feel like there is probably some truth to this, and well, there's probably a lot of truth to it, that people like the clouds and the mild. But I also think that there are probably some people who are very Minnesotan and that they see the bright side of everything, no pun intended. Yeah. That, you know, last year, I was hearing so many people last year that were like, oh, I know it's really cold outside, but at least the sun is out. So I don't know. What do you prefer, Cole?
Definitely clouds and mild.
You do?
From somebody who doesn't have a heated garage, so.
Oh yeah, that's totally fair. It is easier on your cars, that's for sure.
We did do a quick poll and just getting the results. Just in, 68% cloudy, 32% sunny.
Okay, that's very similar to what Jason DeRusha. I stand in the minority, I guess. All right, what can you do? That's it for now. This is the 734 from WCCO, when most of the Twin Cities are on the go. So go ahead and make us your place for mobile news. We'll be back here tomorrow on Friday at 7:34. And until then, be nice to each other out on the internet.